If you hand a dealership $50,000 for a brand new crossover today, you are purchasing a financial illusion. You are being manipulated into financing a disposable electronic device with an expiration date hard-coded into its engine block. The automotive industry is terrified of the $5,000 budget market. Why? Because 2 decades ago, engineers accidentally manufactured a handful of utility vehicles that were far too durable. They built structural monoliths that simply refused to enter the salvage yard, completely disrupting the modern cycle of forced depreciation. If you know exactly which engine block codes to isolate, you can acquire a heavy-duty road fortress for $5,000 that will violently outlast the fragile plastic vehicles rolling off the assembly line today. I have audited the global fleet survival data. I have verified the metallurgical schematics. I am going to expose 4 completely invisible, heavily depreciated SUVs that will effortlessly cross 300,000 miles. Do not click away because the mechanical intelligence in this video will permanently insulate your bank account. Number 1. The commercial-grade American monolith. The 1997 to 2002 Ford Expedition, specifically equipped with the 4.6-liter V8. When the modern consumer searches for a full-size, reliable SUV, their immediate reflex is to search for a Toyota Sequoia or a Chevrolet Tahoe. Because those 2 specific nameplates dominate the mainstream cultural consciousness, their used market values are severely artificially inflated. You are forced to pay a massive popularity premium simply to acquire the badge on the grille. The first-generation Ford Expedition is the ultimate architectural bypass. Internally designated as the UN93 chassis, this vehicle is not a passenger crossover. It is a genuine, body-on-frame, heavy-duty truck. However, you must exercise absolute surgical precision when evaluating the engine options under the hood. You must entirely avoid the larger 5.4-liter Triton V8 models. The 5.4-liter engine from this specific era is highly documented for ejecting spark plugs straight out of the aluminum cylinder heads, resulting in catastrophic repair invoices and completely destroyed engine blocks. You are searching exclusively for the 1997 to 2002 Expedition equipped with the smaller 4.6-liter 2-valve modular V8. In the mechanical engineering sector, the 4.6-liter 2-valve is an undisputed cast-iron titan. This is the exact same engine architecture utilized in the Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. It features a heavy-duty cast-iron cylinder block, a massive timing chain, and a highly conservative power output that permanently shields the internal rotating assembly from heat fatigue. Ford paired this specific cast-iron engine with the 4R7W 4-speed automatic transmission. This is a hydraulically controlled rear-wheel drive transmission designed to withstand brutal commercial fleet operations and heavy towing. Because the exterior styling of the first-generation Expedition is entirely outdated, the demand among modern buyers is non-existent. You can effortlessly locate a pristine, meticulously maintained 4.6-liter Ford Expedition for exactly $5,000. You are acquiring commercial-grade police interceptor engineering wrapped in a massive SUV.
Number 2, the heavily misunderstood European Fortress, the 1998 to 2003 Mercedes-Benz ML320. I am completely aware of the severe hesitation surrounding German luxury vehicles. The mainstream consensus dictates that purchasing a depreciated European SUV is a guaranteed path to financial ruin. For heavily turbocharged modern European vehicles packed with experimental air suspension systems, that assessment is entirely accurate. However, the first-generation Benz ML320, known internally as the W163 chassis, is the ultimate exception to the rule. When Mercedes engineered this vehicle, they did not utilize a fragile unibody car platform. They built the ML320 on a dedicated high-strength steel ladder frame. It is a true, authentic truck chassis designed for severe global environments. The true structural asset lies within the engine bay. The ML320 is powered exclusively by the 3.2-liter M112 V6 engine. Mechanics globally recognize the M112 as one of the most reliable internal combustion engines ever manufactured in Germany. It features an advanced aluminum engine block embedded with high-strength Silatex cylinder liners to prevent internal friction and wear. Furthermore, it utilizes a highly unique twin-spark ignition system, employing 2 spark plugs per cylinder to ensure perfect, unyielding combustion and eliminate engine misfires. Mercedes mated this V6 to the 5G Tronic 722.6 5-speed automatic transmission. This specific transmission architecture is incredibly robust, originally engineered to handle the massive torque capacities of V12 engines in the flagship Mercedes S-Class. When bolted behind the modest 3.2-liter V6, the transmission is completely understressed and virtually unbreakable. Because the average used car buyer is terrified of the Mercedes-Benz emblem, the depreciation curve has flatlined at the absolute bottom of the market. They assume it will require exorbitant maintenance, leaving these vehicles completely ignored on the used lot. You can purchase a structurally rigid, ladder-frame German utility vehicle for under $4,000. It is a 300,000-mile machine shielded entirely by the public's lack of mechanical education. Number 3. The naturally aspirated Bavarian anomaly. The 2004 to 2006 BMW X3 equipped strictly with the 3.0-liter inline-6. If you bring up a used BMW to an uneducated buyer, they will immediately panic. They have been conditioned by internet horror stories of failing high-pressure fuel pumps, exploding plastic charge pipes, and catastrophic turbocharger wastegate rattling. The modern BMW lineup is highly volatile and requires meticulous, expensive intervention, but you must separate modern forced induction failures from historical naturally aspirated engineering. The first-generation BMW X3, designated as the E83 chassis, was engineered before the turbocharger infection compromised the brand's reliability. You must be exceptionally precise with the manufacturing timeline. You are searching exclusively for the 2004 to 2006 models. If you buy a 2007 or newer model, you are getting the N52 engine, which introduces highly complex electronic water pumps and hydraulic lifter ticking issues. Do not make that error. You want the 2004 to 2006 X3 powered by the 3.0-liter M54 B30 inline-6 engine. The M54 is an engineering marvel. Because it is an inline 6-cylinder configuration, it is perfectly balanced and operates with zero internal harmonic vibration. It utilizes an aluminum block with heavy-duty cast iron cylinder liners. It is purely naturally aspirated. There are no delicate turbochargers generating extreme thermal stress under the hood. The M54 uses traditional low-pressure port fuel injection. This means gasoline continuously washes over the intake valves, entirely preventing the thick carbon accumulation that suffocates modern direct-injected European engines. BMW paired this engine with highly durable, heavy-duty 5-speed automatic transmissions. As long as the transmission fluid and filter are serviced, the drivetrain is structurally impenetrable. Because the mainstream market cannot differentiate between a volatile, modern turbocharged BMW and a rigorously proven, naturally aspirated M54 engine, the prices are identical. You can acquire a highly capable, precision-handling, all-wheel drive European crossover for exactly $5,000. It is a highly calculated acquisition that completely bypasses the new car market.
Number 4. The cast-iron American powerhouse, the 1998 to 2000 Dodge Durango, equipped with the 5.2-liter Magnum V8. When buyers search for a rugged, off-road capable American SUV, they immediately gravitate toward the Jeep Cherokee or the Jeep Wrangler. Because those specific vehicles have developed a massive cult following, the prices are aggressively inflated. You will pay $8,000 to $10,000 for a rusted-out Jeep with severe structural decay. You can completely circumvent this popularity tax by focusing on the first-generation Dodge Durango. Internally known as the DN platform, the Durango was built directly on the Dodge Dakota mid-size pickup truck ladder frame. It is a raw, unyielding utility vehicle. However, you must exercise extreme caution regarding the manufacturing years and the engine block. You must ignore the 4.7-liter V8 engines introduced in 2001, as they are overhead cam engines prone to overheating and dropping valve seats. You are searching exclusively for the 1998 to 2000 Dodge Durango powered by the 5.2-liter Magnum V8. This engine displaces 318 cubic inches and represents the absolute pinnacle evolution of the historic Chrysler LA engine architecture. In the mechanical sector, the 5.2-liter Magnum is an undisputed heavyweight. Both the engine block and the cylinder heads are manufactured from heavy-duty, dense cast iron. It is an old-school overhead valve push-rod engine. It does not utilize complex overhead camshafts. It does not contain fragile, variable valve timing phasers. It operates on a massive timing chain that rarely, if ever, requires replacement. It produces raw, low-end torque designed strictly to haul cargo and survive brutal environments. Dodge paired this iron block V8 with the 44RE 4-speed automatic transmission, which offers solid, reliable shifts when the transmission bands are properly adjusted and maintained. The fuel economy of this vehicle is objectively terrible, and because of the aggressive fuel consumption and the severely outdated exterior styling, the mainstream commuter market rejects it entirely. Their rejection allows you to dictate the purchase price. You can easily negotiate a low-mileage, perfectly maintained Dodge Durango 5.2-liter down to $4,000 or $5,000. You are acquiring the beating cast-iron heart of a heavy-duty American truck stuffed into an enclosed SUV. It is an unstoppable machine that will effortlessly cross 300,000 miles with basic fluid exchanges. You are not required to absorb $40,000 to $50,000 of high-interest automotive debt to secure safe, structurally sound transportation. The automotive industry relies entirely on your fear of mechanical failure to force you into long-term financing contracts that systematically drain your monthly income. The modular V8 inside the Ford Expedition, the ladder frame architecture of the Mercedes ML320, the naturally aspirated inline-6 inside the BMW X3, and the cast-iron Magnum V8 powering the Dodge Durango are documented proof that robust industrial-grade engineering is readily available on the budget market.